Freshman at Tamalpais High School as well, and I'm here today to tell you about our opportunity and responsibility to save our neighboring Coho salmon. These beautiful, fascinating creatures support our ecosystems and not to mention our economy. Yet these remarkable fish are now on the verge of extinction. Since the start of the Industrial Revolution, we did not take into consideration the implications we human beings had on the salmon. We built houses and dams on rivers. The deadly oil runoff from our cars was hazardly leaked into the water. We were greedy and tried to keep every single salmon on the plate of an American citizen. After causing all of this harm and destruction to the species, it is now our turn to work together and fix the damage and destruction we have made, to make amends with the salmon and help them restore their populations in the homes that we previously have destroyed. As a youth member of the community, I'm speaking on behalf of the future generations to come, the future generations where, if we don't act now, salmon won't be a part of. Us youth can't solely depend upon our parents to solve this issue. We need to come together as a whole and work together to tackle it. The salmon status quo of previous years is clearly not working. We can't simply just donate to organizations and leave it at that. We need to do more. Coming together and showing political representatives how much we care is what's needed. Because frankly, the government won't do anything unless they believe people care. Salmon remarkably have the capability of navigating some thousands of miles against improbable odds between fresh and salt water. To prepare for ocean waters, salmon undergo a change called smolting, where they change their kidneys to excrete salt instead of retaining it. This is the only creature in the entire world that has this capability. If you take a tree standing about 10 feet from the riverbed, a certain percentage is salmon. Yes, fish are in the tree. When the salmon return home to spawn, they transport their nutrients to the freshwater and ecosystem through the deposition of their eggs and carcasses. See, if it wasn't for the marine nutrients gained by salmon, terrestrial ecosystems would be nutrient limited. Besides the many environmental complications that would arise without these fish, seemingly our economy would suffer as well. When salmon aren't around, fisheries begin to close. In 2008, the cancellation of the salmon season cost the California state economy 2,263 jobs and $255 million. Ever since, these numbers have kept growing and growing. Something needs to happen, and something needs to happen now. This past winter, my dad and I spent the month of February in search of the spawning salmon. We spent countless weekends driving up and down the California coast, climbing mountains, literally, just to glimpse at these amazing creatures coming upstream. At the end of the month, we eventually traveled to the Lagunitas Creek watershed, the last stronghold for Coho in all of California. In total, we had seen one salmon. Only one single salmon returning home. Now, this is not to say that only one salmon indeed returned home, but it gives you an idea of how deficit our salmon population numbers have been over the past few years. In fact, our local Marin salmonids are down to only 5 to 10% of their historic populations. I want to make it my mission to bring those salmon numbers into the hundreds and thousands. The crisis with salmon is economic. In order to repopulate our salmon, we need to make safe, restorative homes for them so they can repopulate without harm. The problem is there are many homes perched on the sides of these rivers and streams, hazardly leaking septic waste into the water. These homes aren't necessarily against salmon repopulation, but they simply can't afford the $50,000 repair cost of their septic pipes. If we can get enough attention to local representatives, we can pull together funds to fix these pipes. My history class at Tamalpais High School has been a growing advocate for the salmon over the course of this school year. Because in order to get the government actively involved in this important issue, we need to teach everyone the truth about what's going on. In our classroom, we have partnered up with the Turtle Island Restoration Network in their photo campaign. We intend to take photos of students with a personal statement of why they want to save the salmon. At the bottom of each picture is the name of the local representative representing each student according to where they live. This will in turn call much needed attention to this problem by sending these pictures to the representatives. I want to make our home a home for other creatures to live and thrive as well. Please join me in the fight to save our coho.